Yes, you opened the box and we came. Oh, hey, I'm PJ Bozak. This is Silent Fest 2025, and I'm giving you 31 days of terror, 31 days of blood splurts. We're going 31 days, 31 horror movie reviews. How many more times am I going to say 31? 31, 31, 31, 31. I figured today we would cover a Hellraiser movie. In the past, I've covered some of the good ones, and for one of my favorite franchises, there's really only a couple good movies in the whole movie. I'm just saying, I'm coming out now. But we have the epic Pinhead. If you don't know what the whole Hellraiser series is about, it's about these puzzle boxes. People find them, and they open up gateways to hell to these beings who look like this, and they torture you and bring you to the edges of pleasure and pain. And it's just the crazy shit the way they slaughter you, and sometimes you might be lucky enough to be turned into what these things are called, Cenobites. Yes, hooking the flesh, the ripping of the organs, everything you could think of. They're down there in this thing called the Labyrinth of Hell, led by this god called Leviathan, and there would be so many movies, but today I decided I would review one of the bad ones. Today we're going to review Hellraiser Judgement from 2018. Yeah, this thing was Dimension Films. They owned the Hellraiser rights for a while, and they made a really bad stinker before this one called Hellraiser Revelations, and I will never review that movie. Don't ask me to. It's terrible, because I don't review movies that would be 0 out of 5 dog dicks. You gotta be at least half a dog dick to be on my show. Lionsgate Film would go on to put this out. This movie is directed by Gary J. Tunicliffe. The budget for this movie is $350,000. They ended up making $426,000, which isn't terrible for a movie that really stinks. It wasn't in theater very long. It ended up going out mostly to DVD, video on demand, all those services. And if you're wondering, well, what's this Hellraiser about? Well, apparently in the modern age, people don't use puzzles anymore. They're using technology and stuff like that. And they're just trying to think of new ways to torture souls. So this guy named the Auditor, I guess, has this idea, because he types up your sins and sends it off to this really gross guy called the Assessor, and then he eats your sins, and then he judges, then these naked bitches with big titties judge you, then a bunch of chicks start licking you after that. Someone dressed up as the Gimp cuts you up in pieces at the end. I guess this is their alternative to the Cenobites' old way, and Pinhead doesn't seem very, very thrilled about it. And there's this angel named Jophiel, and she's a part of it somehow. You know, someone that works for heaven upstairs. But the Auditor is a pretty cool character, I will say, out of that. And it turns out there's this serial killer going around killing people because of the different sins they commit. Oh, I wonder where they got that idea from. And yeah, I'm just gonna come out and say it turns out it was a cop the whole time. But the way that they're contacting, instead of using the puzzle box, they're having these different portals built into different abandoned houses throughout the world. So they'll send you a letter. It tells you to meet them at this location. You knock on the door. Somehow you wake up and you're in there. And yeah, you get, it's terrible. I will say, I know Hellraiser's always been gory and, flesh being torn apart and just all kinds of ghastly things. But this is by far the grossest Hellraiser movie of all of them. Now, but who stars in the motherfucker? Well, we have, believe it or not, Heather Langenkamp, from Nightmare on Elm Street. She has a role. She plays this angry landlord lady. They have John Gallagher playing the Assessor. He's the guy who eats your seat. The sins are written on paper, then he eats your sins, and then, by the way he throws up, judges you, and he throws them up. You know what? Just go watch it. It's disgusting. Helena Grace Donald playing Jophiel. She's an angel from heaven, and for some reason she's kind of sticking her nose into hell's business for her own advantages. It's kind of interesting. Damien Carnet playing Sean Carter, the cop who's actually the preceptor. He's the serial killer. Gary J. Tunicliffe, the guy who directed this movie, playing the Auditor. By far, probably one of the best newer characters in the Hellraiser franchise. Just very well spoken. He's got a cool look, not too overdone with the gore, but just enough to stay interesting. And then playing Pinhead, the Hell Priest, we have Paul T. Taylor, and I know what you're wondering. Where the hell's Doug Bradley? People, Doug Bradley is not young, okay? Even in 2018, this is 7 years ago? He was still not young. I mean, he was even aging, but freaking awesome tribute to Doug Bradley here. We love Hellraiser. We love the Cenobites. But yeah, I do give Paul Taylor his due for this. He does a better job, and it helps that he's actually a Hellraiser horror fan as well. Clive Barker brought such a crazy franchise to the horror community, so like we already did a tribute to him, but here's some more props to Clive Barker and Doug Bradley, and some other Hellraiser movies you should check out. Hellraiser 3, it's silly, but I don't know, kind of funny. Then last year I reviewed Hellraiser Inferno, and it's not as bad as it's still bad. And then we have the Hellraiser remake from Hulu, 2022. Where will the Hellraiser franchise go next? Well, they have a video game coming out, and I cannot freaking wait for that. That's going to be dope-tastic. But what do I rate Hellraiser Judgment from 2018? Well, the Auditor was kind of cool, but like I said earlier, this is the most disgusting Hellraiser movie in the whole franchise. So I'm going to have to give it 1 out of 5 dog dicks, and it could have been better, yeah. So, join me here tomorrow night again for some more Samhain Fest. Like I said, it's 31 days of horror movie reviews, and big props to the Hellraiser franchise. I love the Hellraiser movies, even though there's ones I don't like, I still love them in a way. But yeah, I'll see you here tomorrow night. Feed your kids, pay your bills, take care of yourself, ignore that negativity, and happy Halloween, bitch.